Hello again, guys. This week I've got a smoked fish pie. I absolutely love smoked fish. It's really nice. If it's nice and fresh. So I've got what I did. I went down to my local supermarket, got some just some locally caught fish, which over in New Zealand is smoked kahawai. You can use any sort of smoked fish for it. Out of the tin, it's not so great as freshly smoked, but it's still be wonderful. And I just finished it off with a pumpkin and mashed potato top. The pumpkin adds a little bit of sweetness into the top of your pie, and finish with a little bit of breadcrumbs for the extra bit of a crunch when you bite into it. It was absolutely wonderful. So I hope you enjoy it, and feel free to ask any questions and leave the comments below, and I'll get back to you. So thanks for watching.
So the first thing we need to do is cut our potatoes and our pumpkin that we're going to be sticking on the top of our pie. Now I've got a quarter of a pumpkin that I'm going to just cube up, no real size issues, followed by roughly around 6 to 8 potatoes. Just make sure they're peeled, quarter them. Bear in mind, if we're going to be cooking these at the same time, cut your potatoes a little bit smaller than our pumpkin. Our pumpkin cooks faster when we're boiling it. So to get them ready at the same time, make sure our pumpkin pieces are a little bit larger than our potatoes. Once they're all cut up, we're going to stick these into a boiling pot of water. Make sure it's got a bit of salt in it. And all we're going to do is cook it until it's nice and soft. Make sure our potatoes and our pumpkin are nice and soft. Just to make things really nice and easy, and a nice smooth mash when we come to mash our potatoes and our pumpkin. It's time to work on the actual filling of our pie. Now, in a large saucepan on a medium to high heat, just put in a few lugs of olive oil, followed by 1 diced onion. We're just going to saute this with a little bit of salt and pepper, make sure it's seasoned well. This will form some of the insides of our pie. Once they're cooked, we're going to use the same pan. Don't worry about washing it, save on dishes. We're going to use the same pan. We're going to stick in 2 tablespoons of butter. Wait for it to melt, followed by 2 tablespoons of cornflour. And we're just going to make some white sauce to go with our fish, just to pull everything together. We don't want to make heaps of it. We don't want a big soppy mess of a pie. So once we've got our roux, our cornflour and butter mixture, we're just going to add in our milk. Make sure we whisk out to get any lumps and let it thicken. With our white sauce thickened, we're going to re-add our onions that we've just fried, followed by our fish. Now, I've got 1 whole fish that's been smoked from, like I said, from my local supermarket. Now, with any fish, when you're pulling off the flesh of the fish from the bone, be very wary of scales and also bones. Do your best job of removing both of these. There's nothing more annoying and also potentially dangerous than finding a bone or a scale in your meal. So be very careful, and we're just going to add in our smoked fish at this point. Give everything a nice sort of soft fold in. We don't want to destroy our big chunks of fish, and we're just going to set this aside while we work on the topping, which is our potato and our pumpkin. With a quick test to see whether our potatoes and our pumpkins are nice and soft, ready for mashing, we can drain them in a colander and then stick in a tablespoon of butter, followed by our potato and pumpkin back into the pot, and begin by giving things a good mash around. You might need to add in a little bit more liquid. You could either choose for cream or milk. I've chosen to do milk. Now, there's no real set amount of milk or cream. Make sure you have a nice sort of smooth consistency. You don't want it too dry or too runny, and make sure you get all the lumps out of your mashed potato and pumpkin. Just to finish things off, make sure you season, salt and pepper, very important. And I've also chosen, just to spruce things up, to put in a handful of chopped up parsley. This will add a nice sort of another taste into the topping of our pie. With everything done, now we can actually start to assemble the pie. Grab a large pie dish, roughly say 19 centimeters wide, and into it we're going to stick in our smoked fish mixture. Make sure it's a nice flat surface, followed by our pumpkin and our potato and our parsley. Just spoon it on, start from the edges, work your way in, get a nice thick layer of our topping on. And just to finish things off, we're going to stick on a little bit of cheese, and some coarse breadcrumbs that we're just going to sprinkle over. This will give our pie a nice sort of crunch to the texture. You're going to get crunch, you're going to get soft, smooth potato and pumpkin mixture, followed by a really nice smoky and loose white sauce centre. So now our pie is going to go into the oven at 180 degrees for around 20-25 minutes. We don't need to cook anything. That's the beauty of this pie. We just want to get a nice crisp golden top with the cheese and the breadcrumbs, and then it's ready. Let it cool down and serve it with a side of salad. There you have it. Really simple, really easy smoked fish pie that you can whip together quite quickly. Hope you guys enjoy it. Keep an eye out for my next video next week. It's going to be a dessert of some kind. So keep tuned for that. But thank you guys for watching. If you have any comments or questions like normal, ask them below and I'll get back to you.